Hello, guys. My name is John. I'm an entrepreneur and startup founder. Just started developing a new startup through a no-code strategy. Today, we want to understand a little bit more about how can we validate the startup ideas under week, right? Validation is one of those things that everybody ignores because we have a pretty clear idea of who's our customer and who will use it, right? Usually is yourself. You are the one that needs that tool, that a new and shiny software. But usually what it does end up happening is that either the market is too big, you can't cover it all, or maybe you don't have a really clear understanding of the pain point that people are willing to pay, because there are pain points that people are not willing to pay, right? So today in this video, I'm going to help you understand how I use AI to validate ideas. Let's get into the video. One of the things that you're going to find in this video is we're going to learn how to research audiences. If you have an idea, we're going to use AI, mainly ChatGPT, to get us around our first overhaul, which is who is our audience, who's going to pay for our software, right? Second part is we're going to have a little bit more of a high level understanding of the features and the ideas of your idea, like how you're going to enrich that idea that you have. What are the elements that are going to be highlighted in your tool so that you could get a sense of how much it's going to take to develop this idea, right? Then we're going to go and talk briefly about marketing. Marketing is a pretty broad term. I have 10 years of experience in marketing, building brands for a long time. So I got a pretty nice idea of what will work perfectly on this first time idea development. So we're gonna briefly go through it, but I'm gonna give you those really strategic tips so you don't have to spend that much money on it. And then what I think will be better is that now that you have your idea, now you have your features, you have a sense of what your brand is going to be. Then next steps is you got to make sure that you have your MVP. What is that demo going to look like? And that's where this whole thing is going to come together. We're going to use a tool called Replit. That tool is going to take us into the next level of MVP, right? So what the whole thing about validation is that you gotta be able to communicate your idea in a way that is understandable for everybody, but also it's not gonna take you ages, right? But what better way to validate idea is to validate demand, right? So we're not selling your tool just yet, but we're selling demos, right? Like that's the key part of validation is if we're able to get the demo or we're able to get people to get on a meeting with us and demo the tool that is functioning because Replit is going to make it functional, you have a pretty good idea whether or not they're willing to pay for it, right? And it's just going to take us a week. So what's the big deal? Let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do is I go to ChatGPT, right? And I have an idea that I think will be a great opportunity for us to make a pretty simple build. Usually, what's happening is that a lot of people are building a newsletters, right? And there are a lot of founders, there are a lot of people that don't have time to actually put together a newsletter. The newsletter is a curation process that happens throughout the week. So throughout the week, you get information, different elements that come through your pipeline and content consumption. You grab those ideas and you want to take on some of those ideas and bring them into a space where you can process them later and understand the valuable information of the week. So you could put together your newsletter. Let's go to ChatGPT and start writing that out. We are going to build a tool to help funds get a newsletter started. The idea is that founders, all the valuable content that they consume during the week and use AI to curate, organize, find trends, help them draft a news for the week. Help me further develop this idea to get a more clear understanding of what I am building. So we prompt that, then with that, what we're hoping to get is a clear understanding of our idea, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and read this. I think it's really valuable for you to curate what ChatGPT is saying to you. So go ahead and read this. And it says capture. So a browser extension, a mobile app to save article, tweets, video, digital, nailed it. Integration with tools like Pocket, Notion, and email to forward save content. We could also just build our own gathering information space. Content organization, targeted tag and categorization, a dashboard to view safe content group by team and topics. Perfect. Trend identification, newsletter drafting, collaboration, customization, automation, user journey, differentiation, and potential change and monetization. So that's perfect. We had this broad idea. Now it's coming together. We're really interested in who's going to pay for this. Let's get ChatGPT to help us understand a little bit more who's going to buy this. With this understanding, identify a potential audience that will be willing to pay for this service. So we got a startup founder, content creator, influencers, freelancer consultants, most definitely, right? Curation is for everybody. And then marketing agencies who's building newsletters for other people. And then we have corporate newsletter. I think that's enough. We got a pretty interesting take here of who's going to be willing here to. Okay, let's. All right. So we're gonna get a sense of our audience. This is important because part of the research process is understanding more about our audiences and our buyer persona. So I'm gonna create a buyer persona for startup founders. What I want to do is please create a buyer persona around founders. We're gonna get our buyer persona. We have a little bit of understanding of who's willing to pay here. So I think we be willing to read this. So why they pay. Founder often want to establish thought leadership or maintaining a direct line of communication with their audience, investor and consumers. A newsletter simplifies without adding significant effort to the already busy schedule. Perfect. So you want to communicate, and the way this is being portrayed is that they want to keep those investors or the stakeholders within the company engaged. So it's a pretty interesting idea. I never thought about it. So that's a good thing about using ChatGPT to ideate and evolve your idea, making sure that you're targeting potential pain points that you never thought of, right? So content creator, they're constantly consuming, share content, struggle to organize, amplify. Well, yeah, but let's stick with the startup founder. I think that is the better audience for us. So we got a pretty interesting buyer persona. Buyer personas are going to help us get the communication right. A lot of times when you're communicating and you're making copy for your website, for your value proposition, things like that, you think about the audience you're talking to. The idea of thinking about this audience is craft that message in a way that they understand. So with the buyer persona, you're gonna have a deeper understanding of your audience. So much so that they're gonna feel that you know them better than they know themselves. That's how you got it. What are we gonna do with the buyer persona is pretty much just understanding a little bit of where this audience is goals are, right? Challenges, personality traits. Now keep in mind that what you want to keep this information in different docs or in the same doc. So you could go back and just start prompting against that information. These are all context that is going to be useful for you to really nail all the information that you require to get this validation in place, right? So we got our buyer persona. Let's start refining our idea. What we're gonna do now is start understanding more about the features of this tool. We have a pretty good take on the core features. The core features are something that you're gonna have to keep in mind all the time. When you're developing an MVP or a demo, you gotta make sure that you organize your application in a way that is gonna be sensitive for the AI coding tool to have just one feature to worry about. So what are we going to do now is we're going to start using these core features. We're going to tweak them a little bit, have more information so that we could stick to the core features and have them built for us. We're going to start elaborating more about these core features. And what we're going to do is we're gonna central we're gonna ask ChatGPT to build us a information set of the core features that are gonna be useful for the AI to build it for us. The first thing is we need an objective. We need all the information required for that feature to work. We need a user description on how the user is going to interact with the tool and then expect the results. If you prompt those three elements, the AI will have a good understanding of what you're building. So what we're going to prompt is further develop all the core features with their objective, information required, user interaction, and result. All right. So now we have a deeper understanding of the core features. So we have a content capture feature, which is going to enable users to use content they consume online effortlessly for newsletter. We're going to have a content detail, which is going to be a title, URL, meta description, sources, use node tags, interaction, permission, save content, and then we have pretty good understanding how it's going to work, right? Now, keep in mind that we're just prompting. The ChatGPT is doing the hard lifting here, but this is going to help us get a better sense of how this is going to get developed, right? So now, what I always try to advise is this is going to take a little bit of time and effort, but just focus on the three features that you think is going to make the best experience for the user. Now, keep in mind that we're not building a tool, right? What we're building is a demo. It's something that we could show somebody to kind of get a buy-in or an interest or a sense of how much they will be willing to pay. Now, this is a lot better if you just go and talk if you just go and talk to somebody and share your idea from your head, right? Now you don't have to make that much effort. You just show the tool and this is what it's supposed to do and what we are hoping to achieve. This is going to take your pitch into a next level validation space, right? So let's unlock our imagination. Now we could start building our brand. I'm going to show you how to build a website or a prompt for copy and build a brand. So now we have a pretty good understanding of all the features that we're going to build, right? The next step is to start creating our brand. We have enough information to start building a brand. What we're going to do is we're going to start just building a simple website, one page website. But before that, we need a name, a description, and we need like a tagline, and we need a bunch of things. Let's start doing some marketing. And for marketing, we're going to focus on two things: social media and website. Those two elements are going to be basic for you. You're going to have to build a brand, a website, and a social media process. Now, it sounds like a lot of work, but I'll bet you that we have enough information in the chat right here to get ChatGPT all the context they require to build you a pretty decent brand, right? So what we're going to do first is we're going to tell them GPT what we're doing. Now we need to build a brand around this tool. Please create a creative name, a description of the brand, and a unique value proposition. This will help us in the long run. So let's create this as the base of what we're trying to craft. Pretty bad name, but whatever. Since creative and straightforward name to combine ideas of creation, yeah, it's too straightforward to my like. Curate that empowers busy founders and entrepreneurs to fully transform their weekly content consumption, engage in newsletter or platform, streamline the process, capture, blah, blah, blah. All you need, start really understanding what this brand is going to do for you. And the unique value proposition is key. Transform the chaos of weekly content consumptions into polished, trend-driven newsletter with AI-powered curation, organization, and drafting. Curate Draft save you time, enhance your true leadership, and delivers professional newsletter engage your audience in minutes, right? Perfect. Now we have a pretty solid brand description, at least from the perspective of marketing. This is going to be enough. For that, we're going to use a framework that I really love. I have been using this framework for a long time to build simple, straightforward landing page, no fluff. Just want to communicate effectively with the customer or anybody that want to read your content. So the framework is based on a book by Donna Miller, which is Build a Story Brand. Basically, what it does is create this storytelling approach to build landing page, and it just makes it simpler for you to come up with copy and structure the landing page in a way that is going to be more enriched with information that is useful for your customer, not marketing fluff. So what we're going to prompt right here is we're going to go ahead and say by using the story brand framework by Donald Miller. Their structure is really straightforward. It's really simple, uh, but it kind of help you navigate some of the elements of building a landing page, right? So the idea is use this to start creating what I think will be your landing page, right? So for landing page, we're gonna go and use Carrd. Carrd, I love this one. It helped me put a landing page in seconds. You don't have to know too much about developing here. Just go ahead and if you're interested and you wanna support the channel, you could go ahead and there's a affiliate link for this tool. It's really affordable. And I'm also going to start sponsoring all the people that are going to join my community in Skool. If you want to join and build something interesting with me, you can join the Skool. I'm giving a 1 year Pro Lite subscription for this tool. I'm also giving out a sponsorship for a subscription on Replit that we're going to get more into it in just a second. But more or less what I'm trying to do with this community is helping you guys, anybody that have a great idea, don't know how to put it on paper and just don't know if they have a really good idea. I'm helping you guys building that MVP. I'm helping you putting together your plan. I'm helping you getting everything set up so you could be a startup founder with less effort than it was before. We are really in the era of ideas right now. So we have a lot of templates here. We're gonna create something simple like this one. So you got everything here. You got all your instructions. Then you start copy and pasting. We're gonna break this into two spaces right here. We have the headline, right? Paste it right here. Oops, that's the wrong place. That's a little bit too much text. I like this one. Turn your weekly read into powerful newsletters with this one right here. And I'm gonna start putting this together. Pretty straightforward. You don't need to know anything. I will come back when everything is done. So now we're back, and I already finished the landing page. Look at this. I created all the content that we just show you how to create it and just place it here, right? Perfect, right? It could be better. Find some images, put some content in it, I want to go over this framework, which I think is going to be great for you in any endeavor you want to do a landing page. This is a best approach I could find. So the first thing is you want to start with the headlines, right? What do you do? What's your name? And the call to action. Remember that we're not selling this, right? We're scheduling demos. We want to test demand first before we actually build something. In the framework, what's the problem, right? How we are helping, how it works, right? So I went step by step. Then where are we doing this? What is the pricing? And then just a closing statement, right? So pretty straightforward. Clean up some things here. This, and I usually will start with one social media. In this case, I think it will be good for us to start like some TikTok and some Instagram. So you're gonna click here, and we're gonna start doing it. Boom. And we're gonna do this, right? So we're gonna keep those two. It'll take about social media, but we already have a landing page, right? Now, next thing is a domain. So we could just save this, right? So this is gonna be, or we could publish on Carrd. We're gonna publish on Carrd just because I'm not gonna buy this domain, but it works for the purposes of showing you this tool for newsletter founders. All right, so now we have we're gonna head and publish it, right? Publish it there in the feed tier. I think you're gonna have a few things that you could send, but you have a working, interesting landing page. Now we're gonna schedule. Usually, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna place some of this call to action to my calendar. So I'm gonna create a calendar for this. Go ahead and create your calendar in Calendly. You use Google, so it will be easier for you to get a Google Calendar set up. You'll be able to get this URL, right? Just share it. The link will be this one. You're gonna copy that one, and then you're gonna place it on all this scheduled demo call to actions. The idea here is for us to get meetings, right? And get a sense of what people are looking for. And now for the demo, we gotta have a demo, right? It's not something that you're just gonna not be ready for. But what we're gonna do here is we're gonna put all these call to actions for a demo, right? And then what next steps is we're gonna have to build demo, right? So this is where the fun begins. So right now we're gonna go to Replit. I'm gonna teach you how to use Replit. All right, so now we're in Replit. So what is Replit? Replit is this wonderful tool that I was able to discover a couple of months ago where you are able, through just regular language, start building your app or your MVP or your demo app, right? The good thing about it is that you don't have to worry about infrastructure. You don't have to worry about getting databases set up, getting servers up and running. You just have to worry about being able to communicate your idea in a structure and a consistent way, right? So for that, we already done a lot of the work on ChatGPT, and I think we will have a lot to share here. This is a business account. This is my company, Unify. Unify is a marketing development company. We're building a communication company focused on marketing and sales. What we do is we facilitate through AI all these elements that go around the communication between marketing and sales to make teams more effective. You're going to see that the first thing when you go into your personal account, and remember, if you join as a paid subscriber in my Skool community, you're going to have access to 1 month of this plus a Carrd subscription. You're going to be prompted with this, right? This is what you want to build today. The good thing about this is that we already know what we want to build. And that's why we did all that previous work on ChatGPT to get a sense of what are we building, right? So let me just find here my notes in 1 second. So remember that when we were using ChatGPT to start structuring this, we asked them to create a description. The first thing you're going to do is grab this description and paste it on Replit, right? Now, Replit already have an improved prompt, so you're going to use that before we do anything else. What it's going to do is going to translate that into features, right? That's why we created that description. We're going to start building with that. The way it works is you're going to have a $20 limit spent every month. That $20 limit is not necessarily a limit per se, it's just a suggestion. And the way it charge is that every feature that you create or every checkpoint you save on building your app, adding 25 cents to your bill is fairly affordable. And nonetheless, you should have an idea of maybe $100, $150 to build this for you. So just a heads up. What he did is he used the prompt and created a plan. Now, when you have your plan, the system on the AI will prompt you on what are the elements that you want to start building. So it's saying that the build prototype, right, will be an additional feature, which is advanced analytics, template management. Yes. Advanced analytic insights. Yeah, we want that. And then we're gonna approve the plan, right? So now when you approve the plan, what it's doing is to start building the prototype, right? The prototype is like the shell that is just going to start creating all the elements that you need to have. Now, using AI, we're going to need our ChatGPT API. So we're going to let this run while we grab our key for a ChatGPT. So we're going to come back to this. All right, so now we have a OpenAI key set up here. So we're just going to continue with this one. Now you're going to be able to find how to find your API key for OpenAI. Anything you have to do with AI, I would suggest you have your own OpenAI account, get your API key, and get everything just set up here. But long story short, what you're going to find is that Replit is already familiar how to engage those two APIs with your tool. So Replit is a pretty robust tool, but you gotta know what you asked for, right? You can't just throw a bunch of different ideas. It will do its best to understand what you're trying to achieve, but you gotta think about it in a way that is gonna be structured, simple, and it's gonna be focused on one objective. Now, take it from me. If you don't clean up your request, you're going to start spending a lot of money on trying to figure out why things don't work, right? So you want to prevent that because there are going to be bugs, there are going to be issues, and you're going to figure out that things are not going to work. And that's reality. Development goes like that. You have you're going to build something, it doesn't work, then you're going to fix it, and then you're going to try it again, and then you have this process of just making things work. So you got to be patient. uh, what I love about this tool, and we're getting a little bit of what I love about this tool is that we're seeing a fast iteration of results. You already have your login page. It's asking you, can you see a login registration page for create title? And then you respond yes, right? Now, this it, it's gonna build the shell and it's gonna build something different. And now you're gonna see how we're going to start determining the next steps. What I love about Replit in comparing to other coding tools, and there are a bunch of them, and they're really good. I'm not a coder myself. I have 10 years of experience in marketing. I just decided to build a SaaS because there was a pain point that I couldn't solve. But this allowed me to create a pretty MVP enough for me to be able to start getting traction and start working on the idea of how to build this. One of the things that I will say is that this is going to take some time. Now it says the registration account, try adding a URL and a content library tab. And you register a new account. Let's try to register it. Yeah. Oops. It's in register. Holy moly. All right. Look at that. Yes, now we have a dashboard, transform, get started, content capture, AI analytics, newsletter automation. All right. So you can register an account and try add a URL. So we're gonna capture. Let's get started. So we're gonna add a URL. Get a URL from, I don't know, get something from YouTube. Get this one. All right. So we're gonna get here and add a URL. There you go. So now we have successfully added a URL. Now we have a feature. This is the newsletter editor, the analytics, and the content that you're adding to it. All right. So yes, I created a account and a and successfully added a content, a URL. Okay. So now in analytics, so now we have content creation, newsletter created, content effective, top content team. It's not showing up, which is interesting, right? But do view insights, key teams, target audience, newsletter angles. It's interesting. Okay. So it says check the analytics tabs and see if it shows content trends and team distribution in the charts. Just put yes. So I built all this and I spent just $1. Like this is insane. Like this is what you have in your hands right now that are is gonna allow you to be more effective in just making those ideas, right? So let's continue with this. Now we're implementing a content capture and analytics and feature. Let's move to implementing newsletter generation. Oh, I was not able to save the draft. And this is where we're gonna spend the most of your time, making sure that what is saying that is working, it works, and get all the functionalities in place for you to get a better understanding of this. So I know this video is kind of getting a little bit long, but I want to close this by saying that here is a great opportunity for you to understand more how to build a business, right? So now you have an idea of how do you build something with Replit using ChatGPT only, nothing fancy, and have all your MVP features displayed on something tangible that you could share with somebody. You could sit down with your demo and just show the tool that you built. Doesn't have to be perfect. The idea is for you to understand and share this with somebody else, start getting traction and figure out whether there's traction there. If you want to build that first startup or that first idea with me, I'm going to encourage you to sign up to my community in Skool. You're going to find the link below. And what we're going to do is in the next 30 days after you sign up, I'm going to be sitting down with you and helping you understand your idea, clean your idea, and help you use Replit to get your idea off the ground, figure out all the marketing that needs to be done, social media, and everything. If you want to sign up for now, it's just going to be a community of people that don't know how to code, have different backgrounds. And my background is not coding. I am a marketing expert. I have been working with marketing for years now, but this is the opportunity for you to learn with me how to go to market with a new application and then have tangible products that you can show your users and your audience. So go ahead and sign up for my community. If you don't want to sign up just now, you can sign up for free. I'm going to start uploading a bunch of different resources. There's a lot of content that is going to be there. It's going to be for free, so you can use it and start building your next AI idea. Thank you for watching. If you want to subscribe to the channel, I'm going to be posting here weekly. All the topics that we're going to do is how do we go to market, right? How do we build something? How do we get a company built around a specific idea or tool? Go ahead and follow me and see you in the next video. Thank you.